Are you seeing it?
Yes, yes, Anne-Marie, I'm seeing it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So let's continue, but maybe he has some extension on those. He was looking anxious and ready to go. As I was there thinking how safe it would be, by this time, many people had already made their way to the bus with no hesitation or concern for safety. So I decided to follow, and he began to drive with his tiny hands totally controlling that steering wheel. And everyone was relaxed and cheering as well, including me. All went well. He's now voted the best chauffeur on the road. Okay, so question to Shelly and Trudy's in back here. Kenneth, you can respond if you're not having difficulties. Would you, based on this description, can you actually, is there an image of in your mind about what this man looks like?
And he was short.
Mm-hmm.
Short, trying to, and probably was like having some difficulty putting his foot on the gas pedal, trying to
The
drive.
concept probably, we were not told that. The person was actually wondering if he would reach the gas pedal. So it's not like he was having difficulties. So if I should ask you about, if I should ask you, what does this person look like? Would you be able to tell me? No, because all we know is that he's short and he's wearing a suit. We don't know if he's black. We don't know if he's white. We don't know if he's brown. We don't know if he's red. We don't know if his suit crush up, or we don't know if he's wearing a jacket, and we don't know what he's wearing. We don't know what color. So those are the precise details that we need to include. Include. Okay, Kenneth, I hear you. What do I suggest? If you find that you run out of data, the recording will be available for you. All right, so you might miss the rest of the class if you run out of data, but the recording will be here. Anne-Marie, understand? Anne-Marie?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, good. Right, so remember, description thrives in precise details. We need to be very specific. And if we're saying that the person who we're telling or the person who we're talking to, if we're saying that that person should be able to see exactly what we're seeing, then we have to give very precise details. You understand? All I know about this gentleman is that he's short and he's wearing a suit. I don't know anything else. So because of that, I'm unable to picture it. And we could also add a little about the personality. I mean, you as the narrator, as the person looking on, you would have just gone onto the bus. You don't know what he's like. But I don't know, does he smile? Does he smile with the passengers who are coming in? Does he look grouchy? Does he snap at people? And if he does those things, of course, those bits of information would tell us about what his personality is like. Understand? Okay, wonderful. Shelly, I asked earlier if you have your description, do you?
Yeah.
All right, you are going to share yours.
All right, let me go.
So Anne-Marie, you stop sharing now and give Shelly a chance to share hers. So you will do the same thing she did, Shelly. You will open the document and share your screen. Trudy, you have yours?
Yes.
All right, you'll share yours after Shelly.
So almost, hold on. I must press now.
You see the share button, Shelly?
We're on the left hand side.
Shelly.
Put the cursor on the screen, and you see share screen come up in green. Look by your computer. Put the cursor on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And then click on the share button. Click on the share button. And look for the document and select it. And then click on share.
All right, the document is open.
All right, but you have to share it. You click on the green button that says share screen.
I'm looking for the share button.
Oh, I'm gonna come by your computer. Make sure to share in the meantime, Miss Reed.
Go ahead, Trudy.
Miss Reed, you know I have to read mine because my Microsoft Word is not. I don't have one, so.
What device are you using, Trudy?
Huh?
What device do you use? You use
Laptop.
So what to your Microsoft Word?
Share the picture. Share the picture. Share the picture. Upload the picture and share it.
You have the picture, Trudy?
Yeah.
All right, upload, share that.
Yes, I think just put up something in it because you really never like it so hard, you know? You don't really like beef, but if I eat it, it must be salty, yeah? Check it out.
Let me ask somebody.
Not sharing a miss. Not I read it. I don't know what's happening.
Where share button for panels?
Shelly,
Huh?
is it Mr. Bernard helping you with the sharing?
No, you don't start at it. Probably signing up.
I call her.
Okay. All right. Trudy, as much as I'd prefer to see, as much as I'd prefer to see what you have written instead of hear you read it. Go ahead. But why you can't upload it? What's wrong with the picture?
I don't know what's happening.
You have the picture on your computer?
Yeah.
Trudy?
No, I would have to. And it's not gonna take too much because when I forgot log in from my phone because you know they depend on the laptop.
All right.
All right, read it. Go ahead.
Well, mine is on the
10170.
Shelly, mute, Shelly, mute your thing. It's Dandre. Excuse me 1 second, Shelly. Let me see what Trudy, let me see what Dandre wants. 1 second. Dandre, what you say you want? You want chips? There you go. Okay. Go ahead, Trudy.
Okay. Well, mine is on the nurse.
Okay, nurse.
Yeah.
I'll be making notes. Go ahead.
One Sunday evening, my grandmother was admitted to the Kingston Public Hospital. My first glance at the nurse that attends to my grandmother caught my attention. She stands out in her full white, properly attired. She always has a pleasant personality because whenever she is attending to my grandmother, she always have a smiling face with a calm tone of voice. She is tall, slim built, and well complexion. She has long hair that is always properly groomed. From her personality, I can tell she enjoyed her job because she has a loving and caring bond with her patients. The visitor and myself and the patients on the ward always looking forward to see that nurse every day.
That's it?
Yeah. Too short?
No, man, it's all right. Because remember, I told you I really didn't give you a word limit. So I can't tell you that it's too short.
Shelly, what is sharing now? You're miss? Or is it sharing now? Shelly is sharing.
I see it. I'm seeing it. I'm just going to comment on Trudy's description. Okay, so if I were to compare this one to the one I looked at earlier, your description has a little bit more details. So yes, I know she's dressed in full white. I know she's always smiling. I know her hair is long. But when you say her hair is always properly groomed though, that is not so specific. It's very broad. I don't what does properly groomed mean? Does it mean that her hair is always in a ponytail, that it's always caught in a bun on top of her head, and it's very neat? You see what I'm saying?
No, but when you use the word groomed, it more sound like her hair is always well kept.
But
it doesn't mean
no.
well, I don't know.
No, Trudy, I get it. It means that her hair is always combed properly. That's what you mean. That it's always neat and so on. But I'm saying you could be more specific if you tell me that it's either she wear cornrow or her ear just catch up in a one bun on top of her ear, or on top of her head, or she always have a ponytail. Those information are very specific. That kind of information is very specific because you're giving me very specific details, right? So I'm just trying to give you some pointers on how you can make it more descriptive, because once you start giving me more precise details, you're being more descriptive. All right? But very good attempt, Trudy. So let's see. And you said she has tall hair?
Yeah.
All right, remember that here, tall goes up this way, tall goes that way, long goes that way. All right, so her hair is long.
Oh, I have said long hair, not tall hair.
All right, good. All right. So let's look at Shelley's description of a nurse. She hurried to work in her milky white suit with her badges of accomplishment in a busy day. Okay. She heard someone crying and making. Shelley. Where's Shelley? Shelley, read for me because I'm not sure what you want to say. So read for me and I'll comment.
All right. She hurried to work in her milky white suit with her badges of accomplishment in a busy day. She heard someone.
All right, Shelley, pause. You see how you stopped there so a while ago? You see how you stopped there so a while ago? You need to put a full stop there, not a comma. You read it and you stop. It means that you need for sure say stop, you stop. So you need a comma there, not a full, you need a full stop and not a comma. All right? Go ahead.
She heard someone crying and making and moving to her. Her nostril flare with every breath.
Okay, Shelley, you see again. You read and you stopped. You stopped at her. It means that you need a full stop right there. And you see how you tripped a while ago? It means that there's an error. That's why I couldn't read it, because I didn't know what you wanted to say. She heard someone crying and making and hand movement to her. All right, so 2 things. You need to make sure that you read over what you write or what you type to ensure that the proper punctuation marks are there. If you don't have the proper punctuation marks, your work can be very confusing for somebody else who is reading it. So you need to ensure that you read it over to put in those things. And to read it also to identify where your errors are, like there. And what do you mean by hand movement? You heard
Like
someone crying and making hand movement to her.
Yeah, like they're calling her.
All right, so you need to be very specific there. You need to say she heard someone crying. But listen the other problem you have with this sentence now, Shelley. She heard someone crying and making hand movement to her. Suggests that she actually hears somebody crying and hears somebody making hand movement. You can't really hear anybody making hand movement, can you?
No.
All right. So it means that that sentence has an error that you need to fix. How can you fix it? She heard someone crying. And when she looked, I don't know if she looked to the left or she looked to the right or she looked in the direction of the cry, she saw a lady or a man beckoning. And when you use beckoning now, because hand movement is very vague, you don't know what the person is doing. They could have just do so. You don't know what they're doing with their hand. So you say she heard someone crying and she looked to her left, the direction of the crying, and she saw somebody beckoning to her. Beckoning suggests that they're using their hand to call her. All right?
Okay.
Good. I put your full stop right there. All right, continue now.
Her nostril flared with every breath she took as her chest moved up and down rapidly, as she ran towards a group of people.
All right, pause. No, there is confusing. Why is it confusing? She saw someone crying and beckoning to her, calling her to come. Right? And then she ran to a group of people. What group of people are you talking about? Because you said that one person should hear one person crying and one person beckoning to her. So where did this group of people come from? See?
I need to describe. Okay.
And that part is not description, you know, it's the details that you give me. Apparently, I don't know, and you have to know. I don't know what it is that's in your head. Yes, baby? She saw an old man. She saw an old man lying flat on his back. So you need lying there. Give me 1 second. Let me find out what Andre wants. 1 second. Excuse me. Andre, what is it? What do you want to put on the table? Okay. All right. Good. Okay, so she saw, where was that? She saw, yes. She saw an old man lying flat on his back. She shouted, "Clear," twice. What does that mean?
The man was unresponsive, not making any movement.
All right, so he wasn't making any music. I should just go over there and say, "Clear, clear." That's what you're saying, Shelley?
Yeah.
But why would she say clear?
Because the man, I have an heart attack and the man unresponsive, so she need to assist the gentleman.
Yeah, man, but why does she say clear? Usually when they say clear, what is it that they're doing?
They're telling the person to move from the here, make sure assist the person.
It's true. Somebody else want to jump in here and assist me? She saw the old man lying flat on his back. She shouted clear twice. Somebody? Trudy smiling at the answer. Anne-Marie laughing. I'm not saying anything. No, I'm thinking about the practicality of it. All right, so yes, baby? Juice. Okay, let me give Andre some juice and get back to you. Ah, boy. Here's the juicer. Okay, when we talk about the practicality of it now, we're saying, so no, Andre, leave that. Leave it, leave it. Leave it. Yes? Leave it. Okay, so she heard a cry. She saw a man beckoning to her, or I don't know, or a woman, I'm not sure who is beckoning. She goes over there, she sees a man lying flat on his back, and she shouted, clear, twice. And I'm asking you, how practical is that? If a nurse goes to somebody's bedside and they're unresponsive, does she shout clear?
No, I'm trying to say them like the man is, the nurse is trying to give him CPR. That's what they do when they're giving CPR.
Oh, but you say you didn't say that, and that is what I'm getting at. That is what I'm getting at.
No, but you don't finish with it. It's on the...
Okay, all right, let me continue. Her voice sounded like a kettle whistling as the person dressed back. Hurry for assistance for the old man. You have to assist me here, Shelley. What do you want to say here?
She had to check the old man pulse using her 2 index finger to palpate the carotid pulse.
Her voice sounded like a kettle whistling as the person dressed back and hurried. So the person, is it not when she said clear? She is asking people to, I don't know, I'm not sure. She's
to move, yeah. When she said clear, she telling the person to dress back to move.
Okay. Okay. All right. Her voice sounded like a kettle whistling as the person dressed back, and you'd have and hurried for assistance for the old man. She shouted, call the EMS and get the ADA machine. She hurried to check the old man's apostrophe S pulse using her 2 index fingers to, should that be palpate or palpitate? What should it be?
Palpate.
Okay, I'm not familiar with palpate. I'll check it later. Palpate, the carotid pulse?
Yeah, me feeling the pulse, like pressing it down.
Okay, she indicated that no pulse was present. Onlookers started to panic and cried out, no, as she hurried to perform CPR, high quality compress of, how you read this now, 30 over 2? How you read it?
Yeah, 30 over 2 breaths.
Okay. It sounds like Shelley has a lot of experience with this nursing CPR business.
Well, I'm a nurse and I don't really familiar with the 30 over 2 breaths.
Oh, okay, Trudy.
No, when they're giving CPR, I give 30 compression to 2 breaths.
Okay.
So Trudy, you familiar with the EMS and the ADA machine?
Yeah, the emergency services or something like that, she's saying.
Okay. She repeated this action 3 times, and the last time the old man revived. He held her tightly. She could hardly breathe. But Shelly, you have breath here. She could hardly breathe. She could hardly breathe, telling her son for her marvelous work of saving his life. All right. First of all, Shelly, kudos to you. Wonderful attempt at writing, and you try to put in the details with the 30 compressions over 2 breaths and the EMS. Good inclusion of the details. Now the problem is this: the details that you give me though would be nice for a story, but I still don't know what this nurse looks like, and I don't know what she's like as a person.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How many of you read the notes I left on Edmodo for you? You should have read the notes, because those notes told you that you should have looked at physical appearance as well as personality. I went as far as to upload a document with giving you the elements of the face, I guess, elements of the body, and several descriptive words that you could use to describe the eyes, the hair, the nose, the lips, stuff like that. And I did that so that you could use examples from them. So I need to actually see the person. Remember, descriptive writing is you painting a picture in words. But guess what, Shelly? You began very well. She hurried to work in her milky white suit. I see that milky white suit there, and milky white suit is a device that she's using a device right there. What device is she using? Anybody? Milky white suit, what device is that? Anne-Marie, I see your mouth moving, but of course you're mute, so I can't hear you if you're talking. All right, you're taking too long. It's a metaphor. Why is it a metaphor? You are comparing milk, the color of milk, milk white. You're comparing that to the actually to the actual white of the uniform that she's wearing. All right, so it's a metaphor. So automatically, once you use that, you're getting an impression of how white the uniform is. Right? So that's a metaphor. She hurried to work in her milky white suit with her badges of accomplishment. All right? I would take off in a busy day. If I'm going to use it, I would put it at the beginning. I would say, on a very busy day, she hurried to work in her milky white suit with her badges of accomplishment. All right, so you need to, I guess everybody has something to work on in order to make their descriptions more descriptive. Some of you need to put in more details. Some of you need to use more adjectives. Some of you need to use more figures of speech and so on. However, the good news is you will not be required to write a descriptive essay of 450 words. And like I told you before, this description though will be relevant when you start writing your stories. Okay? And I see where Anne-Marie and Shelly-Ann try to incorporate speech, dialogue into their description. That is good. So for story writing though, we will need to look at how you punctuate your dialogue, because of course direct words should go into quotation marks to indicate that the person is speaking. All right? Okay, so we'll work on that when we get to story writing. So good try, everybody.
Okay, thanks.
All right. So Shelly, you can close your description. I'm going to share. I needed to do a very quick lesson on subject verb agreement before I have you. So you did a description of person. Each of you will do a description of place afterwards.
I can't hear you now.
Shelly, are you hearing me? Shelly?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now.
Are you hearing me now?
Yeah.
Right, I was saying you can close your document now.
Okay, okay.
All right, so we're gonna do a quick lesson on
Miss,
subject-verb agreement. Yes, sir.
when you click on share, it automatically stop them from sharing.
That's what I realized. I just realized it.
Okay.
Oh, before I move on, let me. Okay. Let me stop sharing. Wait a second, I can't seem to locate it. Okay, can everybody see what is being shared?
Yeah.
Subject-verb agreement? What are you seeing? Are you seeing subject-verb agreement?
Description of a person.
Okay, no, that's not what. Hold on. Seeing it now?
Yeah.
All right, so let's do a quick lesson on subject-verb agreement, and then we go to description of place. All right. So the basic rule of subject-verb agreement is that a singular subject takes the verb with the S. In primary school, we were taught that singular subject takes a singular verb.
Yeah.
A verb cannot be singular, so we will not say that a singular subject takes a singular verb. Does everybody understand that? You understand why a verb cannot be singular or plural?
Because you have to describe something or place.
Shelley, remember the verb doesn't describe. The verb actually tells about a state of being or action.
Yeah,
the adjective is what does the describing. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So yes, the verb tells us about state of being. So I am talking. Right? That's a state I'm in now. I am talking. All right? Or state of being. I am a girl. That's a state. So that's telling you about state of being. I am reading tells you about actions I'm doing. All right? Okay?
Okay.
Oh, okay. This is 4 minutes. So when that happens, please re-log in. I don't think I'm okay. All right. So yes. So bottom line is this: your subject and your verb must agree. They must go together. If you're not agreeing, it means that your sentence is ungrammatical. So the basic rule is that a single subject takes a verb that ends with S. But I was talking about why is it that a verb cannot be singular or plural. Let's take an example. All right, we have car here. Car is a noun, and of course we have one car. And if we have only one car, it'll be 3 cars, right? So plural is adding an S to it. That's one word. Take for instance the word sing. Okay, and we have 1 sing and 2 sings and 3 sings. No. Right? So the difference is this. Cars and nouns, so nouns can be pluralized. So you have 1 car, 2 cars, 3 cars, 10 cars, 100 cars, 1 million cars. Sing is a verb. If you want to have 1 sing, 2 sing, 10 sings, 1 million sings. We don't have that because it's a verb and verb can be multiple verbs. And you can pluralize them to have out of them. Alright? But of course, we know that those verbs have S on the end. S indicates plural. It indicates agreement with the subject. So yes, we know we have things. But S there means something totally different from the S that is on a car. Understand that, guys? Tell me if you don't understand so I can explain further.
Yes, Miss, you could explain further.
You want me to explain further?
Yeah.
Okay. Again, we're saying that a verb cannot be singular or plural. Singular means that you have one thing. So I can have one car. Plural means I can have more than one, that I have more than one. So I can have 2 cars, 3 cars, and I indicate that plurality by adding S. So I have 1 car on one hand, and by adding S to car, it indicates that I have more than 1 car. All right? That's plural. I use the verb sing. And if we're going to use the same or do the same thing to it that we did with car, then we'll realize that something is off with the word sing. So car is a thing. So I can count it. I have 1, use pen. I have 1 pen, I have 2 pens. Okay? Can I do the same thing with sing? Can I say I have 1 sing, I have 2 sings, I have 3 sings, I have 4 sings? Because these are not things. Sing is not a thing that I can have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Right? So we can't pluralize it. We can't add S on it and say we pluralize it. Understand?
Yeah.
Another verb we can use, and this will probably cement my point, is a verb. But we can't have 1 is and 2 is and 3 is because it's not a thing that we can have several of it. So when you put an S on it and say, okay, this means I'm more than